check, make sure the tin whistle is.
There she is.
messing with you, sorry about that. Well, guys, this is just, we are over the moon right now, and because this has been such a long time coming. We had this, this trip at least, on the books since, it was in our minds since about 2018, okay? And we were supposed to be here in 2020. Obviously, we all know what happened there. And it's just been a long, long process, but we finally made it, and we are so excited to finally be here and be playing for you guys tonight. So thank you so much for hosting us. So just to kind of give you an idea, we're Crossbow, by the way. And if you're not here for Crossbow, I'm sorry to tell you, you might be in the wrong spot, but we're glad you're here anyway, and we hope you stay. So, kind of what we do is we just do a lot of high-energy, traditional Celtic music. We don't talk a whole lot in between songs. We kind of go in groups of 3, or we might introduce a certain special one. But we're here to play the music, so if that's okay with you guys, that's precisely what we're going to do. Is everybody doing okay still?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Real quick, I'm going to say it several times tonight, but just a huge round of applause for Mr. Eric Peary back there, who has just been doing amazing work with the sound. This poor man was given all of this gear, or rather the mixer that we brought. He's never seen it before, he's never dealt with the app before, and so he's actually controlling it wirelessly back there on his tablet, and we gotta say, you were doing such an amazing job, so thank you, Eric. for a second as we find out which one suits Claire the best. So this is Claire and Adam McMillan over here. This is our little married duo in the band, and they're going to do some singing here for you.
1, 2, check. Any louder? What do you think? You think it's better? I'm taking it off. Excellent. I like the thumb. Just throw that in the monitor. Is that possible? Just jump. Just skosh. If you happen to know this tune, there is a little part in it where you yell, "Hey." If you don't know it, don't worry about it. But if you feel inspired to yell, "Hey," we would love it. And if you don't know the tune at all, but you still want to say, "Hey," just throw it in here and there, all right? 2, 3.
So Claire and Adam McMillan, please give it up for them. And also, I know they're kind of scampering all over, but these we fell in love with it the second they hit the stage. Also, and then Turas, where did I say that right? Turas? Fantastic, and they're very, very hard act to follow, so thanks. You want to do like some Skype lessons? Help us. So the next one we're going to switch over to some Americana here for you. As I'm sure you're well aware, we have quite a few Scots over on our side of the pond, and so this is just beyond bizarre for us to actually be here, sort of. It's like coming home for us. So we thought we'd bring a little bit back with us. The first one that we're going to do is called Ashokan's Farewell. If you're familiar with it, or if you're not, it's from the Civil War documentary made by Ken Burns. And somebody likes it back there. And a lot of people think it's actually traditional, from the Civil War era, but no, that was just Jay Unger's pure brilliance. That was all him that made that. So we're gonna do that. Then we're gonna go into some more bluegrass. A couple of, I guess they're reels, and it's called Cripple Creek and Old Joe Clark. And we thought we'd throw an African drum in it because why not? First, we're gonna do Ashokan's Farewell. that we normally do for our American audiences. Because, so what we do is we travel all around the state of Michigan, which is where we're from. It's the one that looks like a hand, like this. And in Michigan, we use our hand as a map. So if anyone is telling you, oh yeah, I live right about Detroit, it's right over here, go down to Detroit and Lansing, and then you gotta go over to Grand Haven, over here, that's fine. We're very Canadian as well, so that's what we're finding out. But anyway, so Michigan, that's where we're from. And if you want to wave at us, that's also fine. But we like to try and teach our American audiences some Gaelic, alright? And that, as we found in traditional sessions, it's more than fine to show your appreciation if you're having a good time, right? So we teach them a little bit of Gaelic. And I do understand where I'm at. It just hang with me, okay? So, if you're Irish, do we have any Irish here tonight? Good. Nothing against them. Plenty of Irish friends, but okay, we landed in the right country at least. So, if you're Irish, you speak Gaelic, right? And so it's real simple, okay? You just, with me, fill up your lungs, and you give out a Yow! Let's try that all together. 1, 2, 3. Some pseudo-Irish. That's fine, okay? Because there's also Scottish Gaelic, and you don't ever get the two mixed up. Very important, okay? And it's approached in a very similar way, but so you still fill up your lungs, but the Scots, you gotta get down lower. Because they're very grounded people. It's real simple, ready? You give out a hooey! So let's try this all together. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Okay, so just real quick, we're gonna recap. If you're Irish, 1, 2, 3. And if you're Scottish, 1, 2, 3. Good job. Oh, but by the way, if you're English, the door's right over there. I have been sweating for like 3 weeks about telling that joke. Because normally it goes over great there, but I was like, no, we're not trying to start anything. Sit down, Ian, stay in your seat, bud. So, actually, I'm all three of those. I'm a bit of a mixed mutt, and I have some cousins in Carlisle. I think they'd rather be a part of Scotland sometimes. So, anyway, I got their blessing ahead of time to go ahead and give that joke, but I'm glad that you guys approved of it, at least somewhat. So, anyway, this next one that we're going to do, we just call it Lunasa. It's because it's a tune we basically stole with love. From a wonderful band called Lunasa that we've had the privilege to see many times over in the States. Anyway, so I believe it's actually called Donuts First in Winthrop. So anyway, this is Lunasa Crossbow Edition. Sorry. Musical stance.
You bring it over to us?
Careful. Yep.
You got it?
Testing. 1, 2, 3, testing.
Testing. We need Carly though. John, you have to sing too, son? You guys can share. Yeah.
We can share.
You guys sing too. No, for you. Check. Testing. Is it slider on?
Yes. Test. 1, 2. What about this one? Is that one plugged in?
You guys can hook. Why don't you guys just both jump on that one?
Okay.
Yeah, let's share.
All right.
Cozy in.
I like that.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm quite ashamed to touch these keys after the last act that was up here. Callan, amazing. Truly amazing. I think we lost it. Yes? We're in? Check. We gone.
Check.
Yes. Check.
Oh, wait, it's muted. Hold on.
That'll do every time.
There we go.
All right, nice. So this next one,
Test.
you got it? Yeah, lovely. Okay, sorry. This next one is kind of an American folk written in the spiritual gospel realm. That's kind of very popular in folk music right now in America. It's a little weird. In fact, I didn't have it on the original draft of the set list. And I sent it to Steve, and he said, well, what about Bottom of the River? And I said, that's a little too weird for Scotland, Steve. And he said, put it on the list anyways. So, if you don't like it, take it up with Steve. You guys ready?
Yes.
Hold my hand. Oh, baby, it's a long way down to the bottom of the river. Hold my hand. Oh, baby, it's a long way down, If you get sleep, or if you get then cover for your daddy's gun. The Lord's gonna come.
Alright, so, boys, if you want to head on backstage, you know what's coming. Don't worry, we'll stall. Two of us, everybody. So they're going to actually join us on this next tune. That's why I'm sending them off, and I'm going to stall for them just a little bit. But it's okay, I've got like 5 minutes worth of material. I do have to explain though, this very tune that we're going to do next is absolutely the reason why we're here. So we are going to next perform our version of McPherson's Lament. And so before I go any further, a huge, huge thank you to the Clan McPherson Museum. And we're going to go through all the names later at the end of the show, but everybody involved, because this would not be happening without everybody over at that wonderful museum and all of your local musicians who have donated for the night all of the instruments that you see up here. We didn't hardly bring anything. Maybe 95% on this stage is right from your community. So thank you guys so, so much. Another reason I've been sweating for the last 3 weeks.
Steve's been practicing this in his shower for the last 3 weeks.
This is the tale of James McPherson, a man known to some as a thief, a vagabond, and a murderer. Still, he was known to others as just Jamie, a friend, a hero, and a savior. Aye, Jamie McPherson was a son of bonny Scotland. A Robin Hood of his times, he would steal from the rich and he'd give back to the poor. And he quickly became a champion of the people. But unfortunately for Jamie, his heroic ways caught up with him, for he made many powerful enemies among the landowners and the upper class. And so one day, while he was just strolling into the market, they ambushed him, gave him a sham trial, and they sentenced him to hang beneath the gallows tree. Now, what you might not know about Jamie is that he was also one of the finest fiddlers and composers of his time. Even while he was sitting in his cell, his beautiful wife just outside the door, he wrote his own lament, and he waited. Finally, when his fateful day had arrived, and they led Jamie up to the gallows tree, they asked him if he had any final last words to share with his friends, his clansmen, who were all gathered there to watch. So naturally, he played that very tune that he'd written the night before. And after he was finished playing, he asked if someone would please take his most prized possession, his fiddle, and play that very tune at his wake the next day. But when none were brave enough to step forward and accept the gift, in a fit of rage and in true Scottish fashion, he cradled the fiddle in his hand, he smashed it over the head of the executioner, and then he leapt off the platform with a noose still around his neck so that his final act on this earth would be on his own terms. But there was one person who knew that tune. That was his wife. And for the remainder of her days, she travelled around the countryside and she taught that tune to as many people as she could. Thanks to her, and every fiddler who's picked up the tune since then, were able to keep Jamie's story alive. Along with that story is Jamie's message. It's a simple one, but it's a powerful one at that. That's that you have to stand up for what's right, and that you have to fight for those who are less fortunate than you. Even in your darkest hour, you find the strength. Like Jamie did. This is the tale of James McPherson. This is McPherson's Lament. nothing to see here. So yes, as you can imagine, I've been very nervous to do my little speech here for you guys, so we can tell. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do it. We'll see what happens. But that has become such an important tune in our set. So we, back in about 2017, that was when we really dove into it. And we knew that there was a story, but we really didn't know much. And so we didn't write it to match today's current events quite as well, the feeling of it as well as it has. But I think if you are trying to do that, then you're trying too hard. But anyway, so that was how we found out that the museum even existed, because we knew there was a story. We found lots of great information from them, and then we found out that the fiddle still exists. And normally this is the part where I get all excited and tell the crowds, and we're going to Scotland, and we're going to play that tune for them. And now it's over. For the last 3 years, now I don't know what to do with my life. I'm not sure what my name is. But anyways, thank you guys so much for hosting us tonight, and just put my phone away, you idiot. Anyway, so there are so many people involved. I hope I didn't miss someone, but so just real quick, let's give one huge round of applause at the end. I'm just going to rattle through them real quick. Okay, so Face Spade, and those, well, if you want to cheer for them, go ahead. You know, Turas, obviously, and thank you guys so much for joining us. That was fun. On the melody. It was fantastic. Barbara Cross for hooking us up here with the Village Hall, because this obviously was not going to happen quite to this extent if we hadn't had her assistance. These are the people who donated instruments. We have Katie Jackson, Maureen, I'm so sorry, I don't have your last name, Bex Lockyer, Maren Glover, Patrick Gallagher. And just thank you guys so much, because this definitely wouldn't have happened without them. So big round of applause. Ago, and so I knew fairly well how generous the Scots are, and I was like, you know what, I think we got a chance. Someone literally told us when we started this, Isla can attest to this, he said, yeah, so we're looking to borrow some instruments. Impossible. Who's laughing now, bud? That's all I gotta say. With love from America. Anyway, and then to our lovely museum staff, we got Morgan Alcorn, the social media manager, Marlene Warnke, I hope I'm saying that right, she had to go back to Germany, so she couldn't be here, but she was insanely helpful. Julia Lapp, I know you just joined in, like literally jumped into the fire, but thank you. And lastly, but not least, Isla Schaefer, Isla Schaefer, who has taken over as curator over at the museum and has been my boots on the ground and my counterpart in this whole thing. And Mary and Jim, I see you guys, and I'm so glad that you got to be here as well. Those three literally spearheaded this whole thing, and anything I threw out, they were like, yeah, sounds good, let's try it. So here we are. So huge round of applause for the Clan McPherson. I've also been informed there's one more person I have to thank. So Ian Reed, if you would please stand up. Country for the last 5 days. He's been putting up with our shenanigans, and seriously, he went and he found a bus and he tossed us all in the back, and literally anywhere we wanted to go, or plans we had, including some that didn't quite work out like we thought they would, he never blinked an eye. He drove us all the way from Edinburgh all the way up to Mallaig, and then we found out we screwed up with the ferry, so we had to go back around the bridge and out the island. So never once did he complain. In fact, he was like, just give me a 20-minute nap, we'll be good. So thank you, Ian. Thank you so much. Really good story. Well, Newtonmore, it's very bittersweet that this is finally coming to an end. It's been a long 3 years of trying to make this happen, and y'all did not disappoint. So from the bottom of our hearts,
Thank you so much. We're Crossbow. We're going to play 2 more tunes here for you. We are going to hang around after the show. We'd love to hear what you guys thought, or just talk to you a little bit as well. So I don't know. We'll be around in here somewhere. We just got to put our instruments away at the end. But we hope that you stay in touch. Our website, if you're interested, is xbowmusic.com. One of the tunes that we're going to be playing is called The Incredibo. That's what this thingy is. So do we have any fiddlers in this audience?
You don't want
This
to
is
call
an
out
amazing fiddle, by the way. You might not get this back. So anyway, Incredibo is going to be our closer. We're going to play Neil Gow just before that. But so if you'd like to follow us, we're on all the main social media. So except Twitter. We don't have time for Twitter. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much. You've been an absolute joy, and we just so much appreciate you showing up, because this was an amazing journey, and this is just the icing on top, and the cherry on top of that icing. So thank you guys. We're gonna end the night. Yeah. All right, let's play some music. Here we go.
1, 2, 3, go!
seriously, we can't say it enough. So please have a great rest of your night, a safe drive, and hope to see you again sometime. Come visit us.